Now, Randy used to be a Baptist preacher, so some of that might come out. I hope it does in the right way. But I know that this isn't the first time you've just preached without notes.
Yes, it's been about 11 years, though. 11 years.
It's been 11 years. All right.
You know what it kind of feels like? Preaching without notes. Well, we've all had those dreams, you know, where you're in a room with 500 people and they're all dressed in tuxedos and nightgowns, and you are stark naked. That's what it feels like. But I know the psychiatrists have said that you should try to deal with your insecurities. You know, that's an insecure issue. And I've been trying to have lucid dreams, trying to be lucid in my dreamings. I'm trying to tell myself that when I'm vulnerable, exposed in one of those situations, what I should do is to remind myself that I'm dreaming, remind myself that I'm handsome, that my body is beautiful. I am all that and a bag of chips. But most of all, to just let it all hang out, look up, and just pose. So while I'm doing this, I get distracted and feel a little vulnerable, and I strike a pose, you'll know what it is. So I had about 6 or 8 questions, and Marlon actually, he dealt with a couple of them already. So, like, what did Jesus really say? I think we're all confused on that one. But, okay, and do you believe in heaven or hell? If so, explain. Woo! How to have meaningful dialogue with someone we fundamentally disagree with. That was a good one for me. All right, and then dealing with anxiety, fear, and worry, just like what I just mentioned. Well, let's see, where will I begin? Creating on the spot. Okay, well, thinking about how do we disagree with someone we fundamentally, how do we have conversation, rather, be in dialogue? And I'm not so sure that we can. Now, you all know that I'm going through this. I've been here for 2 years, and I'm going through this stage in my life where I'm deconstructing theology. So I don't feel right offering you advice on how you should live your life. And so they told me, since I'm new here, that the best thing, that I could be forgiven for is if I talk about me. So I'm going to just share a little bit about my journey, and hopefully you'll get something out of that. Because I got a call the other day from somebody who actually, from my past, I haven't seen in 7 years. And surprisingly, I hadn't heard from this person, but she's a friend of my ex-wife's. And she called 6:30 in the morning, and I was up, I was in my groove, in my zone. You don't mess with somebody when they're in their zone. You just don't do it. But she called, and she was weeping and crying. And she said, and I don't want you to feel bad for me when you hear this. She said, God told me that you were going to die. I kid you not. And this is how I received it. I was on my computer and I said, oh, really? What else did he say? And she went on to say how I was once an anointed man and a man of God, and how the devil was after me. And I started thinking, okay, God's after me, death is after me, and the devil's after me. Geez, who do I run from? So she went on because, when she said I once was an anointed man, it's because I started at the Unitarian Church and became an intellectual, and I've lost all of my anointing and all my power, and God no longer loves me. Go figure. Okay, so she was going on, and I began to talk to her. Then I stopped her. I said, wait a minute. First of all, I no longer believe in a personal devil that's out to capture my soul. And she really got angry with that one. Well, I believe in the devil. And I said to myself, I was nice, and he's serving you well. Because we're always in a situation where, my theology is changing, so I can't hold to that thought, but she believed in the devil, and she wanted me to have the fear. See, but I realized it was fear-based theology that I had got delivered from, and like most of you have got delivered from. you came out and you got in this particular community that supports you, and fear is gone. So one is fear and compassion. So I realized that I'm no longer afraid. And since I've been here, I realized that Marlon believes that I have a future. I'm in a group of people. I'm in a church, an organization, almost 2,000 people who I've covenanted with, who believe that I have a future. Why should I fear death? And who is this voice anyway from my past who I do not know, who I am not in covenant with? How can she come and speak into my life? So I wanted to tell her where to go, but, I no longer believe in hell. And surprisingly, the people that believe in hell create hell in the lives of others. And the people that believe in demons really work havoc. I mean, he's serving her really well. But, I no longer believe in hell. I believe in peace, and I'm finding that in this community, there is support. About death and dying, Marlon alluded to that in his homily. I have never seen a beautiful ceremony such as I've seen here, as far as when memorial services. They're absolutely beautiful. And they really talk about the individual and glorify their lives. And how can I be afraid of that? I felt that she was a missionary hit woman sent to get me. And I'm thinking, you know what, I feel safe. I'm really in a safe place. So bring it on. Maybe while you're trying to get me, you may get cast in here and find some real peace. So, do you believe in heaven and hell, or hell? And so, please explain. Well, I believe that heaven is how we created on earth, in the lives of others, as well as people creating hell in the lives of others. So, and I can go deeper than that, but I don't think it's really, we have the time for it today. But just create heaven in the lives of others by doing good, showing love. And anxiety and fear. Well, should I strike a pose? I'm getting there. Okay, so, well, there was another little incident that happened. Early this year, I'm in Phillips Theological Seminary, and I went to this hospital ministry class. And there were several students from all denominations there. And we were praying for sick people who were dying, who were really facing really life-threatening issues. And one of the girls said to me, well, I believe that you can just lay hands on the sick and they will recover. And my statement to her was, and how is that working for you? She picked up on my sarcasm. And she said, well, if I am never, ever healed, doesn't mean that God's not a healer. I said to myself, if you've never experienced it, yeah, kind of, sort of, it does mean that he's not a healer for you. And one of the other brothers said, well, no. I said, your theology should work for you. And one of the other brothers said, no, theology is not supposed to work for you. I'm thinking, why would you believe anything that's not serving you? Why would you hold on to anything that's not really serving you? If fear is not serving you, let it go. If anxiety is not serving you, let it go. I know some atheists and agnostics in this place who are good without God, who do not believe in God, and their lives are serving them really well. Why would I want them to change? Why do they need anything else? And I am becoming a quick agnostic, and it's serving me well. So why do I need to go back into fear-based religion? I think that we're all in a safe place. Just trust the process. Know that all is good. And know that what we got going on here is really serving us well. And let's just reach up and tie a new knot and just pose if we have to.